Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Today I'm in the tunnel and I'm doing my first round of succession planting for the summer 2023 season. So for those that are new here, I am in zone 7A. I'm in the state of Tennessee. So if you are in my state, let me know. And if you're not in my state, I'm still glad that you're here. But today I'm going to be walking you through the things that I'm going to be succession sowing for the first time this summer. And so kind of just as a point of history, I did a video, maybe, I don't remember. I'll try to link it up here. Sometimes I'm bad about doing that, but I'll try to link it up here. And I talked about succession planting and the tool that I'm using, which is Seedtime. If you want access to that tool, just go to the link in my description below. It's an electronic digital way to plan out your garden and to plan out what you're planting and where, and also to plan out your succession planting if you're doing that. And in that video, I talked about the importance of succession planting and how you can help ensure that you have a harvest, if not year round, at least all season long, right? And so there's some key things that I'm going to be succession planting today. And I said it's my first succession planting, but I guess this is really my second, because in another video, I talked about doing another round of tomatoes, and we did those together maybe about a month ago. So that was really my first succession planting of the season. So this is really my second, I guess. So anyway, I love to succession plant, and I do it for a couple of reasons. One, so that I can have a continual harvest all season long. And then for me, because I have a high tunnel, I can really garden all year long, right? 365 days of the year is my goal, 7 days a week. And I want to get to the place where I can literally harvest out of my tunnel at least once a week all year long. I'm not there yet, but that is the goal, right? And succession planting is a way to do that. Now, if you don't have a high tunnel, can you still succession plant? You can. If you have container gardening, if you're doing raised beds, no matter what you have, you can still succession plant. It is really just sowing another round of seeds to get a continual harvest of the same crop that you've already done, right? And so it works out really well if you have a long growing season like I do. I'm in zone 7A. My growing season is 100+ days. So if you think about those vegetables or herbs that have a shorter maturity date, so let's say, 50 to 60 days, then I can literally get 2 rounds of planting in that window because my growing season is so long, right? Another reason why people do it, not just to have a continual harvest, but also to help. When I say help, that's not the right word, because they know they're going to have pest damage. So for me, in my zone, I consistently have squash bugs when I plant squash, right? I've done this for the last 3 years in terms of having squash bugs. And so this year, I already know that no matter what I've tried, they still come. I usually have a good couple of harvests off my squash. Once they start producing, they produce pretty quickly. And I'll usually have at least 2 good rounds, and then the squash bugs will come and the plants start looking crazy and all that, and you just pull them out. And that's what I've done. And I have restarted seeds. So last year I had squash growing behind my house in a raised bed. It got bad. And so then I replanted out here in the tunnel, not in the tunnel, in the in-ground garden, right? And so that worked out still well because I had time. Well, now what I'm doing a little bit differently is that I'm going to go ahead and start my squash seed. So that way, when this is bad, I already have a semi-established plant instead of me direct sowing. It's just going to give me another couple of weeks ahead of time so that I can go out there and plant and already have something ready to go. All right. And so squash is definitely one that I'm doing today. I'm also doing another round of lettuce. I am experimenting. I think I told you guys this, that I'm trying to have lettuce all summer long. And if I can do it all summer long, then I can do it all year long. Right. And so one of the things that I'm doing is I'm testing it out. And I'll show you, I still have 2 beds. I have a bed of lettuce that's fully, mature. I've harvested off of it 2 or 3 times, and it's still looking good. And the temperature has been around 85 here lately in my area. But in the tunnel where the lettuce is, it was 107 in here yesterday. And again, so far, so good. And then I have another bed that we succession planted, I think when we did the tomatoes, and I put it out. And so it's probably maybe three weeks away from being fully mature. I'll show you that as well. So I'm doing lettuce. So I'm doing squash, I'm doing lettuce, I'm doing zucchini. Zucchini is the same thing as the squash family. Once that plant starts to go bad, I'll have another set to put out. And then also I am doing, is that it? Oh, sunflowers. I'm doing another round of sunflowers just because I'm doing the Pro Cut sunflower, which is a one stem sunflower. And my goal is to actually cut those and use them on my kitchen table in my house just for beauty and for decor, for flowers. And so because of that, I can have sunflowers all year round. I did not do this last year. So again, I'm trying it this year, and I'm going to resow my sunflower seed. So that way when I pick it, and sunflowers go pretty quick. So once I pick it, clip it, bring it in the house, I have another one, coming right behind it. So we're going to try that. And what else? Oh, cucumbers. And so I have cucumbers in the tunnel, but I'm also going to do cucumbers behind my house. So we're going to do another succession of cucumbers. And I think that's it. So we have cucumbers, we have zucchini, we have squash, and we have lettuce is what we're going to do. And then also I'm going to sow a few more watermelon seed plants. I'm going to go ahead and sow these seeds and then transplant the watermelon out instead of direct sowing, just because I find that with the temperatures being so high and my drip irrigation, we just turned it on to twice a day, but because it's so hot out there, I want to make sure that I can keep it continually moist, and then I'll just transplant it out. So I'm going to try that method. The other reason why I'm doing my squash is that my squash out in the ground right now is not looking 100% great. It's okay, and I'm trying to see if it's going to bounce back. And then my zucchini already has powdery mildew. The leaves look, some of it looks okay, but the other part has powdery mildew. And to me, it's early in the season. Like, we hadn't even started producing anything yet. And I don't know if you guys are experiencing that too in your area. Let me know if you're seeing pest damage or pest pressure earlier than what you normally do. I feel like I am. And I'm going to do a video on there talking about some things that I'm doing to treat that. But anyway, my squash and my zucchini, they look okay. They don't look great. Some of them have flowered, but they haven't produced anything. So if they just go, produce nothing, we'll also have a backup for that as well. So we're going to get to it. I'm going to go ahead and make my labels. You saw me filling up my tray, and I'm going to figure out how many of each one I'm going to do, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so I got all my labels done. All we have to do now is moisten the soil and drop our seeds, and that's going to be it for that. So in terms of what I did, I'm doing 6 squash, I'm doing 6 zucchini, 2 different varieties, and then I'm doing, can't even read my 6 watermelon, and then I'm doing 12 sunflowers. 12 cucumbers, and then the rest is lettuce. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30 things of lettuce. And I think that is it. That'll do it for our second session. But let me show you my lettuce. Let me show you right now. I mean, we're in the first week of June. It's still doing good. Let me show you. So far, so good, y'all. Looking quite fantastic. So I'm very, very, very pleased. Now let me show you the other bed that I just planted about a week ago. So that's the bed that I planted a week ago. It is growing nicely. I can see that some of these are maybe close to bolting, but the ones that are bigger, that are about to be bolting, like this one, maybe, I see. This has been in here much longer, and that's not a kind that I think is as heat tolerant as the varieties that I'm doing now. So all of my lettuce seed that I have done in the past 2 sowings or successions have been from Johnny's Seed. It is a lot of it is part of their Salanova Foundation or Premier collection. And then I've picked some specific varieties that are supposed to be heat tolerant. So we're going to see. And then also when I went to that farm workshop back in January, February that I talked about on a previous vlog, That particular, the teacher is Ray Tyler. He has a whole master class. He has a book. He has the whole thing about growing lettuce 24/7, 365 days a year. And he is in zone 7A. He is literally 2 hours from me. So we have the exact same climate. So I know it can be done because I've seen his, and I have his materials and I went to his class. So we're going to see if it works. Now, if I'm being honest, I hadn't read all the stuff. Like, I'm just going piecemeal. So I'm definitely not as caught up as I need to be on my education about this. But at least we're going to try it and see. And I need to go back to my other videos to see if I still had lettuce by the first week of June. I may have, but if I still have it in July, I'm on to something. I am on to something. So let's turn the water on. We'll get our soil moistened, and we'll also water the greenhouse while we're in here, and then we'll plant our seeds, and that part will be done. Okay, y'all, I came out here to show you the squash so you can see what I meant by, it's not looking so great. And y'all, I know y'all not gonna believe this, but when I tell you it did not look like this last night, it did not look like this. It looks so much better. This is unreal. Y'all, I can't believe it. I came out here to show you how pitiful it was, and it was not looking that pitiful. Now this one is a little bit like, it has some yellow in, as you can see there. But y'all, these two right here looked much worse. Much worse. I cannot believe it. It's almost like when your kids are acting up and you telling people about your kids and they come in all mannerable and acting okay. That's what the squash has done. This is unreal. Okay, I cannot believe this. Here's the zucchini though. You can see that it is heavy with powdery mildew on the zucchini. Again, other than the powdery mildew, it looks fine, but you can see how it is. So I got to put something on here to kind of treat this for sure. Like that one doesn't have any. And then the rest of these are fine in the same row. They're fine. But those up there, powdery mildew, you can see there. So let me get you back on the tripod and we'll talk about it. Y'all, when I tell you that squash, like literally, when I'm shooting this video, I was just out there 24 hours ago. It did not look like that. It just made me look crazy. The powdery mildew, of course, is still there. But when I tell you that squash had brown, it was like not looking good at all. It greened up overnight. I fertilized last night and I treated it. And y'all, it worked. It worked. My squash, it did not look like that. That's not even the point of this video. But I was so stunned. So I'm going to do a video, which I've talked a lot about, how I fertilize. But I'm also going to talk to you about what I've been using, what I'm trying for pest pressure, and some of the things that I've tried just this week. But again, I want to see if it works before I talk about it. Or I can just share what I'm doing and then y'all can try it with me. I mean, it's all organic. It's not going to hurt your stuff. So even if it doesn't get better, it's not going to hurt it. But I'll do a separate video about that. But I fertilized last night, and man, when I tell you that stuff works, it works. Like, it just looks so much better and so much healthier, like literally overnight. Have y'all ever had that happen before? Like where you do something and then you're like, that didn't take long. And like, I'm looking at my row of purple hull peas, like and of course we know that growth happens a lot at night. They were like here and now they're like there. I mean, like literally overnight. That's one of the things I love about the garden, because literally things change right before your eyes. Sometimes it feels like nothing is working. You see no progress, no movement, and then all of a sudden it's like boom. You're like, now, did that happen at 2 a.m., 4 a.m.? Like, when did that happen? That's the beauty of the garden. That is the beauty of the garden. I ain't got excited. But let me water my soil, get these seeds done, and stay on track. Done. And by the way, still working my to-do list this week, and so I was able to cross that off. That was number one. Start seeds. Done. So I've started the squash, the cucumber, the eggplant we didn't do because we already had enough. We did the lettuce and we did watermelon. And so y'all, out of my, let's see, 12 things on my to-do list. Let's see. Okay, I did. Hey, look, you know, if you write it down, you got to cross it off, right? So I did that. Okay. All right. Okay. So out of the 12 things on my to-do list, 1, 2, 3, I only have 5 left. And we still got 3 more days in this week. So we may just accomplish it. That list has helped me tremendously. It was rolling around in my head, but for whatever reason, it gave me some structure and just a written down, okay, this is the things to get done this week. So I think I'm gonna try it again next week, but we have all of our seeds done. I just got to push them down, and basically that's done. We've done our second succession planting. That's hard to say real quick. So I am pleased with that. And again, most of these are pretty fast, so we should see some movement here in the next 4 or 5 days. And then I think in the next 2 weeks, they'll be ready to transplant out, especially the squash and the cucumbers. Like, they don't take long at all. And if you're new and you're wondering, hey, I thought you can direct sow that stuff, you can direct sow everything that I just did here. You can direct sow. I am just sowing the seeds now because, again, I'm doing succession planting. So when the bad crop is bad, or when I'm ready to replace, I have that ready, and then also I can place it where I want it to go, versus sometimes with the direct seeding, you're at the mercy of, you know, broadcasting or whatever the case may be. So I'm excited. I'm also excited about my squash. Y'all, that was not even the point of the video. I was going out there to show you how bad and pitiful my squash looked, and it didn't look as bad and pitiful as it did yesterday. My zucchini still has a powdery mildew. If you have suggestions on the powdery mildew, let me know. What I'm going to try is a baking soda solution. I'm going to try that. I've tried the neem oil before. That didn't work out well. Now, that could have been operator error, because with the neem oil, I didn't dilute it when I did it. That was last year, and it did not go over well. And then somebody said you're supposed to dilute it. I had never heard that before, because I had used neem oil in the past successfully. It did not work. So let me know if you have suggestions for powdery mildew, and then certainly I'll try it. And if it works, I'll share it here on the channel so that everybody can benefit. But thank you guys so much for joining me today in the garden. That just gave me so much encouragement. I wanted to encourage you that it may seem like nothing is happening in your garden. It may seem like things are going slow. It may seem like, okay, is this seed ever going to germinate? Be encouraged, because literally just like that, things can turn around, and all hope is not lost. Until the plant is dead, we can revive, or we can try to revive again and again and again. If it has pests, we can try to get rid of the pest again and again and again. It ain't over till it's over, right? It ain't over till it's over. That is living proof. So, because what? I don't know how I always seem to wear the right shirt at the right time, but look, y'all, seeds want to grow. They want to grow, and we're going to let them. This is part of the journey. If you like what you're seeing on my channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you as part of this family, this community. Share it with your neighbors, share it with your friends. If you have somebody in your life, and that somebody may be you, that is new to gardening, or just loves hearing about other gardening journeys and homesteading, this is a great channel for them to follow. I would love to have you. Please leave me a comment. Let me know where you're coming in from. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.